Hello, my name is Terra, and I am so glad you asked this question. How can I get a good score on the IELTS exam? First of all, it really depends on what is good in your mind. Some people are taking it for academic reasons, and some schools require a 5.0. Other schools, usually graduate schools or schools that are in English-speaking countries, might require a 6.0 or 6.5. Some schools, like I said, graduate schools especially, tend to look for a 7.0 IELTS band score before they will enroll the students. So it all depends on what your goal is. Is it a specific school? And if so, they've usually given you their parameters for the score that you need. Some places also have a limit on the score that you can get for each band. So writing is a band, reading is a band, speaking is a band, and listening is a band. And some schools will say you have to have like a 6.5, but none of your bands can be below 6.0. So that means if you get a 5.5 on listening, but a 7.0 on speaking, it doesn't matter because that one score is going to knock you out. So make sure you know about any specifics to the institute or the business that you are applying to. Okay, the next thing that I will tell you is a well-guarded secret. So I'm going to whisper now, and I need you to come close. Practice, 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 practice. You've got to practice, especially the listening and speaking parts. I know so many people who have gone thinking that the listening part was going to be the easiest part. It is probably the hardest part, because when you listen to English, you might think that, oh yeah, I understand everything that she's saying. You know, I don't catch a word here or there, but it's no big deal. I get the gist. I get the meaning. That is exactly what they are going to test you on in the IELTS exam. They're going to look for those little words that you probably don't catch, or you don't understand, or you don't know the meaning of. So the only way to score well in the listening portion is to practice. And that means you've got to do lots and lots of different listening exercises. And you've got to use all kinds of different accents. Listen to an English speaker with an Indian accent. Listen to an English speaker with an Australian accent. Listen to an English speaker with a British accent, because English sounds different depending on that accent. And you've got to be ready for any of them, because they will use accents almost guaranteed. It will not be an American accent such as mine that you will hear. The voice will be very, very different. So you've got to be ready for that, because there is no, oh, could you rewind that, please? That doesn't happen. So you've got to be ready for it and have your ears perked. The other thing I would tell you is the speaking portion. You've got to practice. You've got to, knowing English, being able to understand the words, being able to read it, being able to write it is much different than sitting across from someone and talking, because now the words have to go from here to here. And that can be the longest distance in the world. Because if you can't find the words very naturally, how are you going to expect yourself to find the words under the stress of this all-important exam? So those are my tips. You got to practice, and you probably need help from someone like myself. So contact me, and we can get started on getting you that good score in IELTS.